Let's try a different area now. I particularly love to draw mouth and hate to draw the nose, but there's some tricks you can use for either parts. I'm erasing those lines because they aren't needed, but I keep the ones that are close to the mouth and the nose. And now I'm just adjusting the face line. As for the nose, you always have to make this curved part, and the nostrils are always darker. The trick is to don't make these kind of lines too deep. Only when there really is a deeper effect or a deeper shadow should you use the same strength. Otherwise, just focus on using a soft pencil to make the shadows and use the light as it is in the original picture. You can clearly see in the original picture that the nose is divided in a darker area and a lighter one where the light hits. So you should use the graffiti pencil to make that separation, and then just enlighten the other parts of the nose. If you use the graffiti pencil, it will be very easy to make the shadow and also to erase it. As I decided not to draw what's outside the face, I made the face line more visible using the thicker pencil and making a slight shadow. If you decide to draw the outside of the face, you won't be needing this part. I noticed that the mouth was slightly lower than what it should be. See how I measured the line and noticed that, so I erased the guideline I had previously made and just redid it all again. You can see how the mouth has always a stronger line to separate the lips. You should make that stronger line first because it's a good guide for the rest of the mouth. The corners of the mouth are usually darker. In this case, the right corner is particularly dark because it reflects the light. To make the upper and the lower part of the mouth, you should make a small line. Don't put too much strength on it because the mouth usually works with shadows and lines. See how the lower lip is right above the grid line? So it's a very good reference for you. There's also always that stronger shadow below the lower lip, but you can leave that to the end. The lips always have these small lines. You should make them and then cover it up with more or less strength according to the light, with the thinner pencil or the graffiti pencil. If the picture was in color, if I was drawing a colored pencil picture, this would be easier to make. You would only need to use different types of red pencils. The same goes for the upper lip. You have that a darker area in the right side and the brighter area in the left side, again because of the light. Then there's this line also that unites the mouth and the nose. Don't put too much strength in it and just use the shadow. As you can see in the picture, it's very clear where the shadow begins and where it ends. So follow that and you should be okay. Again, don't forget to erase the grid lines as you move along. I am marking the place where the shadow begins, and then I'm blurring it with the finger, and notice that the effect is very nice. You can make this with the stronger pencil or with the graffiti pencil. I'm using the graffiti pencil to give some final touches to the mouth. And see how it is particularly good for the shadows. Now let's move on to the ear. Jin Young has this right side of his face very clear, so you can see all the small details of the ear very nicely. Once you get used to draw ears, you will find them quite easy to draw. I'm adjusting the line where the hair and the sweater unite, because most of what's missing of the hair is just dark area where you can't really see how the hair is. Then you will have to focus on the ear. Ears always have this line, this kind of double line around the layout of the ear, and then the inner part always has a darker part and other parts with shadows. Again, focus on what's inside the grid square. If you do that, you won't get lost. I usually wear always the thinner pencil here because there are lots of small details and you can make the shadows with it also. You have this lower darker part, and then before finishing it I'm erasing the grid lines that get in the way. Jin Young isn't wearing any earring, so it's easy for you to make. You really have to get comfortable with the strength you put in the pencil. And when you think it is almost done, then you can go and darken the areas that need to have more strength. These small lines along the hair give it a more natural look, especially if you blur it a bit. Now for the rest of the hair, I will mostly do two things. I will complete the hair. The original picture kind of cuts the upper part of the head, but I decided to finish it according to the style of hair you can see. You won't have to do this if you don't want to. But if you decide to do it, just follow what I'm doing. I'm making some lines and give it space also to put darker areas and then lighter ones to make the effect of the light. In these parts where you can see more or less what's going on with the hair, you can use the darker pencil mostly. The printed picture shows us some kind of waves, darker parts in the hair. So you can use this stronger pencil to make those waves and then cover it all up with the same pencil but with a little less strength. These are the major lines that I was talking about, and now you just fill in the rest with a bit less strength and you have a really nice effect. These are just some final touches to the hair before going to the final part.